What's up, everyone? We've already covered the full recap of Stranger Things seasons 1 and 2, and if you missed those, go check them out, because today we're doing something essential before diving into all the content from season 5. The ultimate recap of season 3 and season 4 of Stranger Things. If you're rewatching the show or gearing up for the season 5 hype, this video will be your official guide. Make sure to hit that like button so you don't forget, subscribe, and turn on notifications because here on Top Zone, we're going deep into Stranger Things Season 5. And here on Top Zone, we're covering everything all the way until the last portal opens. Take a deep breath because there's a lot to go through. Let's get into it. Before season 3, the Russians, the key, and the portal. After the events of 1984, we see Russian scientists trying to reopen the gate to the Upside Down using a machine known as the key. Their first attempt fails, explodes, and kills several workers. They're given 1 year to rebuild it, but this time in Hawkins, since 11 accidentally weakened the barrier when she first opened the gate. To operate in secret, the Russians fund the construction of Starcourt Mall, a flashy shopping center that serves as a front for a massive underground laboratory. The mayor of Hawkins, extremely corrupt, helps them in exchange for money. Season 3, summer of 1985. The season begins with Mike and 11 totally in love, much to Hopper's frustration. Hopper trying to flirt with Joyce, who's still mourning Bob. Lucas and Max officially dating. Steve and Robin working at Scoops Ahoy. Jonathan and Nancy interning at the local newspaper. Will wanting to play D&D, while everyone else only wants to date. Billy becoming the crush of every mom in town. Meanwhile, a fragment of the mind flayer that escaped Will at the end of season 2 starts possessing rats, making them explode, and using their flesh to build a body. Its final goal, possess humans, explode their bodies, and form a massive monster. The first human target? Billy. The group discovers the threat. After Hopper forces Mike to stay away from 11, she grows closer to Max. At the mall, she uses her powers and sees Billy kidnapping Heather. Something's off. The group forms the now iconic sauna test, trapping Billy at extreme temperatures to confirm he's possessed. At the same time, Nancy and Jonathan investigate bizarre cases at the hospital. Will becomes the Mind Flayer's human radar. The Russian key emits strange signals that Dustin intercepts. Dustin, Steve, Robin, and the legendary Erica Sinclair discover the Russian base beneath Starcourt. They're captured, drugged, interrogated, until 11 rescues them. Season 3. Finale, the battle at Starcourt. Everyone reunites at the Starcourt Mall. They realize the only way to stop the Mind Flayer is to destroy the key. Iconic moments. Dustin and Susie singing Never-Ending Story to reveal the code. Billy briefly regaining consciousness and sacrificing himself for 11. Hopper fighting the Wish.com T-800. Joyce turning the keys and blowing everything up, seemingly killing Hopper. The town is told the mall burned down. 11 loses her powers. The buyers move to California with 11. But in the post-credits scene, Russians mention the American. Hopper is alive. Season 4 begins, 1986. 8 months after Starcourt, Ishuran Minorum, in California, 11 pretends she's fine but suffers brutal bullying. Will misses Mike. Jonathan becomes a stoner with Argyle. Joyce tries to move on. Curry, in Hawkins. Dustin still dates Susie. Steve and Robin work at the video store. Lucas joins the basketball team to fit in. Nancy keeps leading the school newspaper. Max isolates herself, traumatized and guilty about Billy. This creates the perfect opening for the return of Vecna. Who is Henry Creel and how did he become Vecna? Before the story continues, we need to explain the villain. Back in the 1950s, Henry Creel was highly sensitive, saw the worst in humanity, developed psychic abilities, grew to despise human existence. He killed his mother and sister and put his father into a trance. He was taken to Brenner's lab where Brenner implanted an inhibitor chip, used Henry's DNA to create children with powers, including 11 in the 1970s. Henry, now disguised as Peter, manipulated 11 into removing his chip. He then massacred all the other children. Henry offered 11 the chance to reshape the world with him. She refused. They fought. 11 overpowered him and banished him into the Dimension X, where he was struck by the Dimension's energy, molded the living cloud that already existed, transformed into Vecna, the puppet master behind everything. That's the real origin story. Trend, the deaths in Hawkins. Vecna targets emotionally fragile people. Victims. 1. Chrissy, pressure and family trauma. 2. Fred, guilt over a fatal accident. 3. Patrick, deep insecurities. Nancy, Robin, Dustin, and the group discover all victims see a grandfather clock. All die in a trance. Each death opens a portal to the upside down. The epicenter is the Creel house. Max starts having visions and becomes the next target. The running up that hill. Scene. Max accepts she might die, writes goodbye letters, and visits Billy's grave. Vecna pulls her into the trance. Nancy and Robin learn from Victor Creel that music can break Vecna's hold. They play Kate Bush, and Max relives her happiest memories, escaping at the absolute last second. One of the most emotional scenes in the entire series. The Upside Down Frozen in 1983. Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Eddie enter through the water gate and discover the Upside Down is frozen on. November 6, 1983. The day 11 opened the first gate. The show hasn't explained why. Turbulern. The plan to kill Vecna. Vecna needs 4 victims. He already has 3. The 4th is Max. The team splits up. Max lures Vecna. Lucas protects her in the real world. Nancy, Steve, and Robin burn Vecna's body in the Upside Down. Dustin and Eddie distract the Demobats. Tanarnum. 11's arc. Project Nina. After hitting Angela with a skate, 11 is arrested until Owens rescues her and takes her to Project Nina, where she relives memories, regains her powers, learns Henry's full truth. Brenner appears alive, tries to control her, and is killed by soldiers. 11 escapes and reunites with Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Argyle. She prepares to help Max inside the mindscape. Chuckich, Hopper's Ark, Russia. Hopper survives the explosion, but is captured. Joyce and Murray confront Yuri, infiltrate the Russian prison, and rescue Hopper. They discover a living Demogorgon, experimented Demodogs, preserved Mind Flayer particles. They realize weakening these creatures will weaken Vecna. Hopper kills a Demogorgon with a sword. Yes, this really happens and it's epic. Trakern. Climax, the final battle. Everything happens simultaneously. In the real world, Max confronts Vecna in a memory of the 1984 snowball dance. Lucas fights Jason. 11 enters Max's mind to save her. In the Upside Down, Nancy, Steve, and Robin set Vecna on fire. Dustin and Eddie play Master of Puppets to distract the bats. Eddie sacrifices himself. In Russia, the Demogorgon and Demodogs are destroyed. The Mind Flayer particles are burned. Inside the void, 11 confronts Vecna directly. Mike motivates her emotionally. She overpowers Vecna and breaks his hold on Max. But too late. Max dies for 1 minute. That's enough for all 4 portals to open. The Upside Down begins merging with Hawkins. Desperate, 11 touches Max and brings her back to life, though Max remains in a coma. Epilogue: The Fall of Hawkins for now. 2 days later, Hawkins is destroyed. Homes ruined, people missing. The town looks post-apocalyptic. Dustin tells Eddie's uncle how Eddie died a hero. Will feels the Mind Flayer's presence again. Lucas watches over Max in the hospital. The California group reunites with everyone. Hopper returns. The reunion with 11 is emotional, but then Will feels Vecna's presence. He's hurt but alive, and Hawkins begins to be consumed by red storms from the Upside Down. The real end is coming. And that's it. You now have 100% of the context you need to understand what's coming in Season 5. And of course, here's my season ranking. In first place, Season 1. In second place, Season 4. In third place, Season 2. And finally, in fourth place, Season 3. Now drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your season ranking? Do you think Max wakes up? And who do you think won't survive the final season? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because we've got tons of Stranger Things content coming, especially for the 5th and final season. See you in the next video.